Hello, 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 my beautiful ones, my wise ones, and my melanated ones. Today is Monday, March the 17th, 2025, and I am Wisdom Reborn. And I hope that you had a beautiful weekend. I had a great weekend. um, I, I hope you had a good weekend. Weekends are made for memory making. Every day is, but when you can find a memory that you can make on the weekend, is a good thing. Um, I wanted to just hop on here today and quickly discuss the law of energy. I know I went over some things about the law of oneness a week or two ago, but I wanted to touch on the law of energy because I think that there is a spirit of fear that we are all kind of maneuvering around, and I think that we don't understand that every exchange is an exchange of energy, and that the law of energy, which is sometimes called the law of vibration, makes us think that only interactions with people and only things that we get involved in are actual energy exchange. But I want us to know that our thoughts are an exchange of energy also. And I think that as we maneuver in this earthly realm, knowing that there is a prince of the air that actually has dominion over the air, then we understand why frequency and vibration are used to manipulate us and to keep us in a headspace, so that instead of paying attention to what's going on around us, we're paying attention to what's going on around us. And that there comes a time when we need to change our positioning so we can change our view, so we can change the way we function. So I said that to say that I think that the word fear, the noun, has been forgotten. So when I hear the word fear, I think of actually being afraid, being scared, being jolted to a point to where, like the first time I saw Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street as a teenager, that invoked a level of fear. Or the night that I got shot by accident, that invoked a level of fear. Or, like fear, something that gives you an adrenaline rush, that at that present moment you are in imminent danger. And I think that when we hear fear, a lot of us hear fear, we associate with the verb. But there is a noun version of the word fear also. And the noun version of fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something can cause danger. So that's just an unpleasant emotion. So that could very easily be thinking about some of the things that are going on in society today. When we think about some of the things that are going on in society today, I'm sure we get an uneasy feeling, an uneasy thought. It can even take us to an uneasy emotion that could not necessarily be afraid, but an unnecessary or a unpleasant emotion such as frustration, aggravation, envy, unforgiveness. And that's all coming from that fear and that energy exchange. Excuse me. Because we know that there are so many schemes, projections, rules, regulations, administrations, to keep us distracted, then we recognize that those things that are made to keep us distracted are probably there against our good, right? And so the powers that have been are still using the same scare tactics to put fear in us. The only difference is it's not making us fearful as being afraid. It's giving us fear like the noun fear. It's causing an uncomfortable emotion or feeling about something that might cause harm. We're not walking around scared, but we're walking around in fear because we give thought to these things. And we give thought to these things because these are things that happen to us. But that is the difference between knowing that you are a spirit in a human body or thinking that you're a human with a spirit. It's a difference. Fear is the lowest frequency, which means no matter how high you vibrate, when you have a fearful thought, it changes your vibration. And we worry, or I'm not going to say worry, because worry is a totally different thing. Worry is constantly thinking that something bad is going to happen, thinking that the worst is going to happen. That is what actual worrying is. And worrying is a progression of fear, the noun, that leads you to fear, the verb. Fear, the noun, happens because we're humans. It is a human exchange of energy. And the reason I say that it is a human exchange of energy is that we were not given a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. So fear is not something that we were given. So in order to walk in any level of fear, you have to invite it in. And we invite fear in by thinking of things that could possibly cause us harm. And not just thinking about them, but giving energy to them. Not just the thought itself is energy, but when the thought becomes a sentence, when the thought becomes a scheme, when the thought becomes a way to try to maneuver around this thing that has been put before us to cause us fear. When we understand that the power that is within us, the power that is within us, also comes with love and a sound mind. A sound mind is so necessary when dealing with fear, because a sound mind lets you know that nothing you can do, there's nothing you can do to outside forces to change the thing that was put before you to cause fear. What you can do with your sound mind is come up with ways to move around that fear to where that fear does not involve you, does not permeate in your energy shield, does not affect you and your family. But the only way you can do that is if you recognize that you have power and that the greatest portion of your power comes from love coupled with a sound mind. The sound mind is when you listen to your intuition, your discernment, your creativity, the knowledge of knowing that you are worthy, that you are enough, that you are the creator of life or death. And so when you understand that you don't have to invite fear in, the administration that's currently in place kind of means a little bit less to you. You don't even think about it as much. When you understand that the Prince of the Air has dominion over the air, and because everything is an energy exchange, and that the way you vibrate will be carried through the air, you understand that you can walk in a level of victory that you didn't even know that you had, because you didn't understand how walking in the law of energy would make you powerful. You have to have a sound mind. And a sound mind is a mind that is attentive and aware of what is going on around you. I don't think that you could possibly have a sound mind if you don't walk in discernment. Because if you don't walk in discernment, you will believe everything that you see instead of everything that you see. Wow. We are walking in a level of fear, and we ain't scared. We are having energy exchanges with situations, circumstances, and people that might cause us danger. And as long as the word might is there, we gotta know there's two sides to that coin. So if we continue to give the energy to the it's gonna happen, then guess what? It's gonna happen. But if we give our energy to, I ain't worried about that, that ain't gonna happen to me, that ain't gonna affect me, then that's a much higher level of energy exchange. And the higher we vibrate, the closer we are to our level of divinity, the closer we are to whatever higher spirit you subscribe to. Because we're all going, well, there's a definite pathway that you're going in the same direction. And there's a definite pathway that people are not going in the same direction. And in my side, my peripheral, I see a highway. People going different directions. People going different directions. We're all going somewhere. Those of us that are going in the same direction, though, we're going in the same direction. Some of us are going to get there faster. Some of us are going to get there slower. Some of us are going to have detours, but we're all going in the same direction. I just feel like organized religion is like the HOV lane on a 4-lane highway. It allows you to get there faster without paying attention to everything that's going on in the other 3 lanes, but it also keeps you from being empathetic and sympathetic and showing gratitude and being thankful and being mindful of those around you. Because when you ride in the HOV lane, you only have to pay attention to what's in the HOV lane, because the other lanes don't affect you. At the end of the day, though, we're all going in the same direction. We're all going to get there. We're going to get there at different times. Just that to ride in the HOV lane, you got rules and regulations that you have to abide to, and there's a higher cost, financial cost. But we're all going in the same place. And sometimes when we ride in the HOV lane, we're not paying attention to the things that are going on in the other 3 lanes. So we miss the beautiful birth of a child on the side of the road in a car, because we were in such a hurry. We didn't pay attention to something miraculous was happening right there beside us that we could have gave energy to. Yeah. It's all an energy exchange. It's all in the way you think on it. It's all in the way that you perceive yourself and the way that you perceive the events that are happening around you. When you can see them clearly, you recognize the play on words. Fear or fear. Dang, thought about something. Energy exchange. And then you understand that the noun fear, the thought of, leads to worry. The constant thinking about leads to the actual emotion of fear. And it's all a trick on words. And the reasons it's a play on words is to keep us distracted. It's to keep us thinking that I'm not walking in fear. I'm not scared of anything, when actuality, you're giving energy to fear and it's lowering your vibration. And as we maneuver in the world, on the earth, we're spirits in a human body. And the human body has to come under subjection. And the only way it comes under subjection is if the spirit uses the resources that the spirit has. But because there are so many distractions set before us, and we are taught that the resources that the spirit has, we've been told they don't work for us, or they're demonized to keep us distracted. But we're all going in the same direction at different speeds. Some of us have detours. Some of us have crashes. But we're all going the same place. When we're going in those, when you can see it. Give grace to the person riding in the slow lane. When you're riding in the fast lane. If you're in the HOV lane, take a second to slow down. See what's going on around you. And don't forget to pay that bill, because they will revoke your license. It's going to cost more. It is. We've got to start viewing things from different angles. We have to. Too many different ways to look at stuff for us to be focused on one thing. It is. So, Thank you for sharing some of your day with me. I so appreciate it. And that's to my beautiful ones, my wise ones, and my melanated ones. But especially for the beautiful, wise, and melanated ones. We got to break down these deceptions. We got to focus on things that will help us get to where we're going. Because we're all going, and we're going to go together. And when we slow down and we realize that as we're going where we're going, our movements might be attracting people to get off onto the exit that we're onto. Instead of getting off of it, might encourage them to come on the exit and get in the highway and move with us. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. I hope y'all have a wonderful Monday. I am going to have a great day. It's almost breakfast time. I'm back to my change my eating habits. This morning I spent some time with this hair. I just washed it. That's all. But life is good, and I hope that as you continue to endure the path that you chose before you were formed into your mother's womb, that we can understand that together is where it's at. But we got to get our individual together before we can come together. It's going to make it easier. I love y'all. Have a good one.